Oh, there I am. I'm sitting here in the dark. I have to move forward. I don't really want to sit forward though. I'll just do a little flash. This is me. I got a little flashlight here. Is that bright? All right. So I could put this light on, but it takes battery life. Let's test it out. Blind myself. I don't even know where I can attach it. I'll play around. Oh, we got Todd Still already. Our first guesser. Where am I now? Where could I pop? Man, that's so bright. Maybe I should just go with the red. Ah, head up to no Minneapolis. It's I was just invited to a watch party in Ohio, somewhere in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, and they're protesting like it's in Minnesota. So I think it's wherever you're at, you could feel free to protest. You don't have to exactly go to the city. So every Toledo. Oh, that's a good guess. Toledo, Toledo somewhere. Kansas, um, Oklahoma. I mean Toledo, Oklahoma. No, that's you tried at least. Oh my God. I'm okay. That this is probably gonna make a lot of noise. I'll play around with this light. So that was a guess. I'm further north than that, so um, that's cold. No, 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 not in Salina. Atwood. I was in Atwood. That's true. Um, no, not in Idaho. No, I'm not in Atwood. Atwood's. I went through Atwood not too long ago. In fact, that was like, yeah, all right. Atwood's a really good guess, but I traveled north of there, so Atwood is nice too. I got some video of Atwood, Kansas. They actually invite you to sleep overnight there. They had bathrooms all night. So Goodland. See, this would be a better game show if I actually had a map on me. I don't have. I could get a map on this phone, but I can't access it. Yeah, I'm in outer space. That's what it looks like, huh? I can switch lights. Ah, that's I can't see. It's so bright. Maybe it's better off. So I'm a little angry about this whole COVID thing, um, because I crossed over from Kansas into North States of Kansas, and every library is closed in Nebraska. Okay, I'm somewhere in Nebraska. Should I do just a red? Some somewhere in Nebraska, and I've stopped at three different libraries. They're all closed. James's wife Terry just thought I'd say hi. Okay, yes, James. Yeah, talked to him. We got within about 230 miles of each other, from what I understand. Or when that was Jack. No, that was either Jack or that was James Lemaster, I think. I got within 230 miles of someone. They said that they were in some part of Kansas, but I'm gravitating north. Kansas was a really nice area. Beaver, New England? No, I'm more of the central area. In fact, I entered the central time zone. Or no, I entered mountain time zone. Apparently, I entered mountain time zone, going north, straight north. So the time zone is jagged. Yeah, I'm somewhere in Nebraska. There's a little town in Nebraska where I have this great Wi-Fi connection right outside the library. Yeah, I'd like to be in Canada. That'd be pretty cool. You got your van camp. Okay, yeah, you're camping in Kansas, and apparently, Nomadic Fanatic camped over in during the memorial. I just saw that. Um, so there's I wonder where are the Kansas rallies for Minneapolis, Minnesota? Who's rallying to support the Minneapolis murder? Yeah, Tasha's arrested. Okay. Um, I'll have to check your channel on that. That's interesting. Let's see. Gave up my other streams to watch. Oh, come on. This watch party's got to be pretty exciting. It's like in a lot of cities. It's not just Minneapolis. Minneapolis has free Wi-Fi, huh? I'll have to check that out. But I got free Wi-Fi here. I mean, there's a lot of places with great Wi-Fi to stop at, and this is just one of them in this mystery city. And I kind of I could say it's Nebraska. It's a small town, and it's a nice quiet area. I actually think I could just sleep here right where I'm at tonight within Wi-Fi range. I think that it'll be pretty quiet the way people are pretty nice to each other. I've been getting waved to like I'm a celebrity. That's how the people are. That's how the culture is in this area. That's how small the town is. The roads are quiet and just not dangerous. There's not a lot of traffic, so the few people who see each other on the roads around here, West Kansas into Nebraska, they're waving at me. In this city, I walk on the sides of the street and I got people driving by waving at me. It's just a customary thing in the small towns of the central U.S. Waving at each other. It's pretty neat. I was thinking about going to McCook. I considered that, but I headed more in the northern direction. I wanted to go straight north, more so just to get some relief from the heat because the next few days is supposed to get in the 90s, and that's not easy to deal with. Going north helps, but I mean I'll be at a loss once July. I'm gonna just somebody's okay. July and August, that going north. I mean the border of Canada is going to be my let's say I'll be cursing the Canadian border in July and August when I get close to it. But I definitely was not cursing. Well, I cursed the Canadian border just simply because I want to go further north to escape the heat. But I don't. I curse the Mexican border in a different way because I don't want to go any further south than Mexico to escape the cold of the winter because the cold of the winter ain't too bad in South Texas. It's not too bad at all. In Texas, maybe New Mexico, Arizona, well, no, California maintains stable temperature. Yeah, you're gonna beat Joe Biden. Yeah, Joe Biden's got so many great quips. But I curse the Canadian border for summer reasons, and I curse the Mexican border just because of all that security, getting stopped by cops in practically every city, every town. It's moving my van with me. We can tow your car behind, tow my car behind. Yeah, this car is gonna last forever though. It'll never need to be towed. I just filled up the radiator, the the temperature control liquid uh with a can of pineapple. I had to put half can of water. You got to use half water and half antifreeze. I had to refill antifreeze. I got too low, and it's half antifreeze, half water, and that filled it up. So it's been. I mean, I owned this car for 8 years, and I never had to fill up the the blinding special. Um, 8 years I never had to fill my antifreeze, and then I just realized I just noticed I checked it and I noticed it was below the lowest level. So now I got a big jug of antifreeze in my car. Antifreeze taking up room temperature control. It controls the temperature. And you want to have 50-50 or something 70-30 or something. I was going to pour the whole thing in, but the people were kind of yelling at me about that's such a bad idea. So I got it. I got the liquids all covered, and I haven't had to fill up the brake fluid or whatever for a long time. But that's neither here nor there. That's a different subject. Yeah, this one's gonna last forever for sure. And I checked the oil. What do I got? It's I need another flashlight. Here we go. I got a really weak one and a nice powerful one. Here we go. What do we got? Okay, 109,803 miles. All right. Oh, that's so bright. This is my security light. I can't abuse that. So, what do we got for, oh, I haven't checked in a while. Wait a second. 100,008. That means I'm a 109,803. Holy, that means I'm pretty close. Actually, 109,803? I guess I haven't been paying attention to this. Oh, my key is still in the ignition. All right, all right. Okay, I gotta plug in the electrical fuse. What am I at? I'm at 109,566. Wow, 300 more miles. I've been really driving a lot. That's kind of surprising. I guess I haven't noticed that I've been driving so much. All right, so I need to look into getting an oil change pretty in the next 300 miles. All the Walmarts are closed too. I sat in Hayes, Kansas, in the Walmart parking lot on the automotive side. All Walmarts closed their automotive section. All right. But, and that was nice. All Walmarts closed the automotive section on that side. And so that reduced activity around there. It's nice place to park during the daytime with no action. That's pretty nice. But over those 2 days, 2 cars pulled into the garage. All right, 1 car each day. And that's interesting to me. Who got to be like serviced by the Walmart? Who was so lucky to get that kind of service by Walmart? That, I mean, I don't know how better to ask that question. It's like I've been noticing sitting in my car and watching things, parking in places and sitting and watching. Why have we been watching you for years? Answer. Okay, yes. A Ford tip. Ford tends to burn straight oil quicker. Oh yeah, synthetic. Yeah, it's supposed to be. I've been choosing the cheap stuff. Maybe next time I'll choose the more expensive stuff. I have to watch what I spend. Yeah, I think in the Walmart automotive, maybe it's an employee there. Possibly there were okay. One was young. One was a young person that got an automotive service at the Walmart automotive, and the other person maybe he was just short of middle age or so. Not the best looking cars. These weren't BMWs or anything, but they pulled in and got serviced. Possibly family members of the automotive workers. All right. There are those perks that the elites that are not, you don't even have to be an elite, just somebody who's got the particular social advantages, even for little things like getting your car serviced. I couldn't just pull up to the automotive section and ask them to change my oil right now. But there's some people who can get these extra perks, and I've been noticing it a little bit here and there in different formats. All right, I noticed it today at one of the cities I stopped at. It was a Nebraska city. A library in a small town was closed. They put a sign up. They locked the doors. They had Wi-Fi available. I could get on the internet, which is nice, but I look in through the window, and here I see 4 people sitting around a table staring back at me. They did not look like librarians to me. They were people taking advantage of this COVID-19 thing and enjoying it, just enjoying their peace and privacy, and their perks, their social perks. And there's a lot of people out there. I noticed that in Kansas, Edmond, Edmond, can Edmond, Oklahoma. I noticed it in Edmond, Oklahoma. I drove quite a distance. And at the YMCA, I hung out in the YMCA parking lot for weeks. And I noticed every so often his old roommate is still in jail. Who's um for weeks. For weeks there was like every so often somebody would just go into the gym with like a bag or just in their shorts, and I think they worked out, uh, had the whole gym to themselves. There's people right now who are enjoying that. This library I'm at, they have the librarians are still working 9 to 5, but they lock the doors and they just have the library to themselves while they're getting paid in Nebraska. It's just it's really amazing how there's this social class, these social classes that are enjoying these perks. What's this? The one who used the computer. Oh, Paul Hurt. Paul Hurt is dead. And you know, when I get back to Wisconsin, I look forward to walking on his grave. I looked up his name. You type Paul Hurt. Maybe you could type in Wisconsin or something. I don't know. But he's got an obituary, and they say exactly where he was buried. I got that point marked on my Google Maps. I am ready to check it out and walk on his grave. So that guy really, he caused a lot of problems, but Paul Hurt grew up around meth. He grew up in meth. Barron County, Wisconsin had a terrible meth problem, and he was kind of a victim for it because he lived such a reckless life. Died at 24. I had him as I took him in. I was a house owner, and I took him in as like a tenant roommate at when he was 19. He was just a young guy, and he couldn't pay for rent. His grandparents actually came with him and said that they would pay, and that was guaranteed rent. And I went along with it. I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Guaranteed money. There was a little more to it too. Um, it was so strange. But I don't know if that would have influenced me. I think I still would have taken him in. There was an outside influence. I think he died of a car accident, not the drugs. Maybe they said it was a car accident in his obituary. So he lived a reckless life, and he paid me to drive him to visit girlfriends in like I forget the name of the city. It's like a 45 minutes away. I thought it was like only 20 minutes. It turned out it's 45 minutes. So I drove him to places, and he may not have ever driven himself. He just only took rides to places, and he probably rode with the wrong person. You know, it's nice. I like being in control of my circumstances in the driver's seat to ride with other people. I don't know. It doesn't. I'm angry about the guy, but I mean, we all make mistakes. I just shouldn't have felt so greedy to take him as a tenant roommate. I think I agreed to like maybe like $225 a month or something back in 2005, 2006. I graduated college 2004, and then I moved right back into my home. I had good tenants in my home in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, who wanted to buy the house in 2004, but I was like, nah, get out. I want to move back in. And I should have just sold it and started in on travel a lot sooner. Hassled. No, I don't know. The cops around, I mean, the people around here and the whole culture around here seems pretty relaxed. They don't even have, I was thinking about sleeping at a park just down the road from this library. It has no warning about overnight parking. A lot of parks will say no overnight parking. There's nothing. I think I could have gotten away with sleeping overnight in the park. But I decided to come over to the internet Oh man, what's going on here? Oh, all right, just got fuzzy. I don't think I'll get bothered. I mean, if I were to put a bet on it, I don't think I'll get bothered in this fine town in Nebraska. But what's the leadership like in Nebraska? Because Kansas, on the west side of Kansas, a lot of libraries are open, but there's none so far in Nebraska. Um, Luckily, I was able to get some electricity at this park just a few blocks away from this library. So, um, outside of society is in a Walmart tonight. Yeah, the nearest Walmart for me is like 45 miles north of me. So yeah, you can't always rely on a Walmart every night. Library parking lots in non-Walmart cities work pretty good. Uh, so yeah, that's you got Walmarts aren't so comforting anymore because of their 8:30 closures. It's it's like just pretty much being parked anywhere with the terrible hours at Walmart. Seven, oh, there's a cop. So he's just driving by, no problems. He won't come back to check on me. Um, the mountains without yeah, no cell phone service. That's why I don't even pay for phone. Just rely on Wi-Fi hotspots like this library. I could just, at some point I could just say I don't want to be on the internet anymore. I'll just drive over to the park. I'm off the internet. I don't have that temptation by paying for the service. I just move away from the Wi-Fi signal and that's it. Yeah, I need to see everybody's ID right now. All right, so let's see some ID. These are your cop lights. Wee wee. Let's see some ID, guys. Show it up. Let's see it now. Yeah, I sold that a house I owned for 8 years. That was 2008 when there was that housing market crash, and I didn't have any. I got fired from Menards. I couldn't keep up payments, $1,200 every year for property tax. I couldn't pay it. I couldn't get roommates in, and the roommates I did get in usually they were trouble. People who decided to move in with me were trouble. Um, every so often I'd get kind of a good roommate, but most of them were trouble. I took her. I was a slumlord pretty much, so it was an experience. It was a depressing experience, but it's like I just wonder what would life have been like if I took my money and spent it on more like living in a vehicle as opposed to a house. I was just thinking about what could go up in value on its own. Oh, let's see, what do we got? Tyrant Hunter posted a video where a cop comes up behind a guy and pulls the guy's gun out. Oh yeah, that's pretty tough there. That sounds like something that you'd see on Live Leak. Um, yeah, let's show 1, 2, 3 show. 1, 2, 3 show. How do you time that right? Usually it's the cop. When the cop demands ID from me, he's got to show it to me. He or she's got to show it to me first. That's the standard. We could try to really play the games and just try to show it at the same time or something. Um, um, oh, I think I could just appoint Sunflower. Let's see. Put height. No, no. Sorry, Sunflower. The actions I can only take are report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user on this channel. It doesn't say promote. So I thought I could, maybe that was on my laptop or something. I don't know. I thought I could just choose what status to put people at. Let's see. Yeah, I can only choose 4 actions on the phone here for that. Yeah, give me money. So this the state of Nebraska, I think I might have to move a little faster through, maybe. But I mean, I have internet here. I have electricity at the park. Um, it's just like it's like when I was in Oklahoma, pretty much. I have to rely on parks more and grocery stores, less on the library. Uh, it was just I was just like, it's that when I was in Nebraska towards the end the northwest part of Nebraska, seeing the libraries open for me, I was getting excited. I was like, wow, everything's opening up again. I can relax, and just expect libraries to be open, and then I get into Nebraska and they're all closed. So it's still pretty difficult. Um, let's see. It, all right, yeah, this is the best I can do for a live stream. Just this is the lighting. I have my police light here. I can just blind myself with. Let's see. How's this? But then all the neighbors are gonna see that. I got the cops called on me for having a flashlight in what's the name of that? It was a Texas town. I was just walking in the dark with my flashlight on, and somebody called the cops on me for just having a flashlight. Um, Not Lindale, but yeah, um, you see the differences in like the the perks for having the social class, a higher social class. And I'm watching as best I can. There's people who are getting advantages from this COVID-19. There's people who don't want to give up all this social distancing and stay in your home order stuff, because there's people who are enjoying the perks of this. Uh, um, and is that real motivation for them to keep this going, or what? But as the weather warms up, Salinas had a parade yesterday. Oh no, I don't know about that. Salinas, I think it's Salina, Kansas, Salinas, California. There are two very different types of cities. Salina, Kansas is a very nice city. It's a much nicer city than Salinas, California, because the California city has a lot of homeless people, and they burned down their homeless shelter in the Salina, California. Um, but they don't even have a homeless shelter in the Kansas one. So yeah, I got the Wi-Fi. Yeah, thanks, Aaron Mohor. I got Wi-Fi, so I figured, what the heck. And I'm a little burnt up about the social inequities that I'm seeing, uh, with how things are being run during this COVID. I mean, there's people enjoying the peace and privacy of empty buildings all to themselves, and still taking in payments, still taking in the tax dollars. It's really something. And it's really interesting how Kansas libraries are open, and Nebraska libraries are closed. So it's really Salina. Oh, like the pronunciation is I keep saying Salina. It's saline, like saliva, right? I just keep thinking Salina because I don't want to forget that name. I like Salina. So the one true queen of R&B, who died unfortunately in Corpus Christi, Texas. I just keep thinking of her when I see Selena. It looks so similar. It's like maybe it's a certain dialect, um people use to pronounce names, that it may be spelled one way, but the local dialect might pronounce it a little different. Is M E, are you a local? Because there's some people who will use a very different dialect in way of pronouncing a word in an area compared to somebody who's an outsider. Like Oregon, I would say Oregon. I'd call Oregon Oregon. I like to say that. Then I go to Oregon and they say, "Oh, you're saying our state wrong. You wanna like you can read it, you can pronounce it out loud, confirm it with people with you, but then you go somewhere else and it's a very different dialect, and you get little nuances just within simple single words. You have Oregon, yeah, you say it like Oregon. Simple words. A guy like me from Wisconsin wants to call Oregon Oregon, and maybe people in Oregon want to pronounce Wisconsin in their own way, uh, like I don't know, Wisconsin or something. Just simple words, individual words can have a different pronunciation within themselves, and you get a collection of different words that are pronounced differently region to region. Then you get accents by those regions after a while, and then they stick with our particular style of talking that builds on their accents to make them a unique area. But it starts with just a simple word on how people talk. Um, but yeah, I'm headed north to get relief from this heat. It's quite warm, but not too bad at the moment. All right, uh, my car's cooled down. Outside is cooled down. The car's cooled down. It hasn't been too windy, but it's just things have naturally cooled down for the night. The highs. How soon do you plan on hitting the East Coast? The East Coast is probably like 5 years away. Um, but yeah, things are cooling down. Things cool down nicely at night right now, but in July and August, things aren't going to cool down so well, and that's when it's going to get scary. And I could go to the furthest, most northern part of North Dakota to try to get some relief, and it's still going to be a challenge to deal with. Crossing into Canada would be really ideal. Oh my God, you can't even see anything. Here, I'll turn on this light behind me. I don't want it in my eyes though. What's behind me? Oh my God, this is my backdrop. That's why it's in the dark. You don't want to see that. Just keep the stage lights on me. Yeah, what is it like in Texas? It's 100-degree weather. Uh, Moving north provides some advantage against the heat. It's definitely still snowing in Victor, Colorado. I was in Victor, Colorado, the Rockies. Oh, I think I agree with Jack Palder. Absolutely. I don't think I'll be able to beat a better place to go than the Rocky Mountains. So going just straight north is going to be tough to find relief. I'm going to be struggling through that. So yeah, I am monetized. Um, it's going to be tough. What do I do to get through the heat? There's a lot of people who ask that question on Reddit. There's this channel called Car Dwellers or something, Urban Car Dwellers, and every so often people ask that question. I have screen that I use, but it's not enough. I put on several layers to block the sun, let the air get through. I don't know. Oh, I have trouble getting that button. I don't know. Okay, that can't be seen. What if I double click this? Oh, that's just to turn it down. Okay, I thought if you double click it, it'll flash. This is like a police light it's got some built-in features. You double click it, and that just dims it, I guess. Or maybe if I hold it. No. Whatever. I don't have the best solutions for this heat. I just have to struggle. Super chat, that's a hassle to get. There's other people smarter than me who know how to set that stuff up. Can you believe? And I hate to speak down about the dead, but Hobe Stobe, if you ever see his channel, Stobe the Hobo, he still gains subscribers, and he's been dead for 2 years, and he's at almost 40,000 subscribers. He still gains subscribers as a dead guy. Two years dead, and it's unfortunate that had to happen. But you look at his channel image, and it's him dead on the tracks. All right, he expected something horrible. He took because of those risks. He was like, I think he might have been fantasizing about dying on the tracks, maybe the way he lived. But that's exactly what happened. I fantasize about dying on the road. That's pretty much I don't fantasize about that, but I keep thinking that's probably how I'm gonna die, is on the side of the road somewhere myself. He died on the tracks. I die on the road, die on the streets. Let's see, join Bohemian Grove. You don't mean that I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm just a traveler who gets harassed by cops every so often. I try to watch some channels. What's a good channel? I haven't really seen anything recently, cop stuff, except for the guy in Minnesota. That was something else. And I just kept thinking, um, after watching that black guy die by the other dude's knee, the cop's knee to his neck, that was, I mean, I watched it from beginning to end. You watched him die on video. He peed himself. I think that's what there was that liquid that flowed underneath the car. I think he peed himself. And the cop just held his knee on his neck. And that's something you're taught not to do. You don't put your knee on somebody's neck. The dollar vigilante. That's I don't really have any way to write that down at the moment. That's something you're trained in as an Air Force cop. Don't put your knee on their neck. I was told that back in 1995 during training. You put your knee on their back. You don't put your knee on their neck. And this guy was holding his knee on his neck. And I was just thinking, I would have loved to have jumped over that car and tackled that cop. I mean, I was thinking that. It's like words don't matter at some point. Words just they don't take any effect. You have to take action. And it's like I kept thinking to myself, could I have jumped over that car, or even just walk around the car and come up behind, because there's only two cops, but everybody stood in one spot perfectly for the cop to stand in between them and the cop who had his knee on the black guy's neck. And I didn't really see a lot of cars going by. I mean, I'd have to watch it again, but it didn't look like a lot of cars were going by. You could have walked onto that street and practically stood there on the other side and given a little more stress to the cop with his knee on the dude's neck. So you look for that with cops. If a cop puts his arm around anywhere around the neck, it puts his arm around your neck, his knee on your neck, those are situations that need physical force to put a stop to it. Because you could see in the cop's eyes, he had those dead eyes. There was nothing getting through to that guy. You actually have to push him. You have to physically make a movement on something like that. Yeah, pepper spray. But you surround the guy. I mean, there's, crowds can't develop instantly fast, of course. So, but I mean, you get around, you get behind them, put a little stress. If you could have just put a little stress behind him, all right, not just come at him where they were able to face you, both of them like that. You have to put stress all around, not just stand in one perfect spot for them to control you like that. It's and that's the thing. You see that a lot with the First Amendment auditors, and I don't watch enough First Amendment auditors. Some like to walk away and all that, and I have a problem with it too. When I'm using a camera, I can't. It's like walking and chewing gum. It's like you can't walk and take and record at the same time. You like stop, and especially when you're engaging in a conversation too. It's hard to do all that. It's like you're juggling too much at once for your brain to handle. But walking around the cordon while recording, that's something I'd like to practice more. And I have gotten into the habit of walking away from my car when I got cops. Like if a cop stops at my car right now, I'll get out and I'll say I'm going for a walk. That's it. I'm going for a walk. I don't have to sit in here and wait for the cop to approach and then engage with me. I can get out and just walk away. I have my shoes off right now, and that makes me nervous when I have to struggle to put my shoes back on. I don't like to look like I'm struggling for something under the seat. I'm struggling to put my shoes back on my feet. Why did the store call the police for only a... No, I don't know the details of that crime. Is that really it? It was a counterfeit call? That's interesting. He got cops called on him for a counterfeit. So then the cops have that $20 bill. Will they show that? Will they go into more detail about what happened? What store was it? It's like there's so many details to ask. And the people at the scene can spread that. The rumors can spread the information, but are they told to keep quiet because they want to have a good court case for this, so they have to issue out subpoenas or sequester. You gotta sequester the evidence. You gotta motion to suppress evidence, motion to suppress testimony, so that we can have a nice fair court trial. That's what you got to do. You get all witnesses. You are suppressed. You are not allowed to go to the press and talk about this because all this information that'll taint the court case. So you can't go to the press on this as a witness, or you'll go to jail instead. If you don't stay quiet, you go to jail. They're probably doing a lot of suppressive activity to keep the witnesses quiet, so it doesn't turn into so it doesn't blow up into more questions that people might ask about the situation. The victim was a regular at the store. Oh yeah, he didn't know. Okay, yeah. They people who deal with paper cash, it can be a little difficult to determine. Not everybody carries those watermark pens, those pens that you run across the $20 bills. You look at them in a certain light. You gotta hold your money up in a certain light. I don't know if I got $1 here. Maybe, can you tell if these dollars are... Oh, I spent them. Yeah, I wanted to get rid of those dollars. I might have a 20. Oh wait, I can't let anybody see this. I can't let anybody see where I hide my money. Who checks? How often do you check to see if you have any counterfeit money? How often? Let's see, I need more light. Let me get this up. Okay, so I got... Look at this, I'm rolling in cash. I'm a rich man. You're talking to a rich man. What do I need to beg money for? Why would I need to beg for money? Is this real or fake? I need some help. Am I spending real money or fake money? Let's see. Big $5 bill. What do you look for? Usually it's the 20s you got to be careful with. The smaller denominations, you can have mistakes. You can make mistakes on judging whether they're counterfeit or not with the smaller denominations. But those big denominations, those big $20 bills, you don't want to make a single mistake with that. That can add up quickly. 20s on top of 20s, fake 20s on top of fake 20s, it'll add up quickly. think this is tap water. Let me check. Yep. Oh wait, just drinking. Yeah, I got this from the tap. Let me also give you a hint of where I'm at. The tap water is good. All right, that's my hint. That's another hint. We have already established I'm in somewhere in Nebraska, and it's somewhere in Nebraska where the tap water is actually drinkable. I don't spit it out as soon as it touches my mouth. Helps me save some money, not having to buy so much water. So this situation, the riots. I'm holding my own riot here. I'm holding a one-man riot in Nebraska. I hope that they got some kind of rallies in all states in some way. Yes, there are corn stalks, but I don't see any new growth. I don't think this is a year for corn. It looks like they're planting wheat around the farms now. They must do that every other year or so. But actually, I've been traveling through a lot of livestock areas. There's a lot of livestock pastures. It's a mix. Talk to the corn. Okay. I don't know if they're growing corn this year though. They seem to be like in between that. Every city that I've stopped at, every town in Kansas has huge grain silos. That's a different lifestyle. In every city, they support so much grain growing. I've never seen it before in other states. It's really a big life. Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, that's on the east side, I think. I'm more on the west side, heading north, but I'm gonna have to veer off east more around the Indian reservations of South Dakota. It's like the whole west side of South Dakota. Yes, I did have catfish tonight. Thank you. The whole west side of South Dakota is like Indian reservation. And I asked a question on my Twitter. Are there any Walmarts on Indian reservations? And well, I only have like 2 followers. One guy said no. And well, he said there's plenty of casinos, and you can sleep at casinos overnight in the parking lots. That's something to consider. But I really need to stay close to grocery stores since I live in a Ford Focus and I can't store a lot of stuff. I mean, there's so many places I could stop if I had the ability to carry extra supplies. I could stop at a lot of other places, but instead I'm totally very reliant on grocery stores. Getting to the next grocery store in the next 2 or 3 days, 3 days tops. I'll be starving on day 4. So I gotta always focus on grocery stores. So I visit quite a few grocery stores, small towns, big cities, all around, and I definitely notice differences. And in fact, one grocery store didn't even look like a grocery store. I was surprised, but then there's nothing I could buy at it. But some places it's amazing the choices that they have, and it explains how a lot of people in the area don't really look that healthy. Like I was at a grocery store that doesn't even sell catfish. How do they live? Do they have to catch it themselves? If the grocery store doesn't sell you good nutrition, how do the people supplement for that? They got to maybe travel, burn down a Walmart. Walmart's about the best thing you can go to for a bigger variety of nutritious foods. Walmart really provides options that mom and pop stores deny the local people. It's too bad. Yeah, there's a type of catfish in Kansas mentioned a few times, and even Oklahoma too, called the channel catfish. I have yet to really study catfish. I love catfish. Even Chinese catfish isn't too bad. I enjoy even the Chinese catfish. Anything's better than tilapia. And even canned salmon. Canned salmon sticks in the throat and the stomach, and then it just it does. I don't even know if it digests. It's just like consuming a rubber. I just I even cooking salmon, having it in the can. That's just the only fish I can really enjoy is catfish. Channel catfish are yummy. I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to be able to fish, but it's really difficult for having room for that and holding supplies because I would want to keep fish stuff in a section not near me, not too close to me, and it's everything I have is within arm's reach in this car. So, um, yeah, I deal with the immediates. How can I satisfy my immediate desires? Thinking about preparing to go out and fish, finding the perfect lake, getting the license, of course, and having somewhere to clean the fish and all of that. That's a lot of steps to take, and I'm not in a great position for that. I mean I could kind of work with my limitations. 20, yeah, all you need is a line and a hook, right? Just kind of throw it out there. You can't, but I mean, catfish don't grow everywhere, and yeah, channel catfish were available in where was that city again? Let me see what city that Arton Atwood. Atwood. There were some fishermen along that lake. I slept along the Atwood ponds, and there were fish that were jumping out. Atwood's a nice area. I don't know what if the fishermen actually caught anything. It's an activity a lot of people engage in just for a way to get outside. Maybe catching the fish isn't so important. Just going through the motions at least. Is that a cup? Okay. They'll probably pick the perfect time to stop and check my car out, right when I'm in that deepest sleep and dreaming something wonderful. And then the cop knocks on my window. They know how, those night cops are terrible, terrible people. Healthcare. Come on. I'm into herbal therapy, acupuncture. I like chiropractic stuff. The hospitals don't support any of that. Do I have another moth in here? Oh my God, how did it get in here? They're not, it can't be this light. I can't possibly be attracting moths with this light. Every night, every evening for the past week, I have a moth going crazy inside the car that I have to get out. That I have to let out. Roll down the window, open the door. It's crazy. So, yeah, night cops are terrible people. They're not political. They don't have to worry about politics. I know that for a fact because I worked mostly nights when I was in the Air Force as a cop. I didn't have to worry about the generals driving around and seeing me, maybe stopping me and asking me questions. I didn't have to worry about the dignitaries at night. All of those political worries were set aside. You had nothing, you had very little to worry about at night. But it was a definite different culture at night. Night cultures and day cultures are very different. You got more bar fights and drinking issues, domestic disturbances, and just the nighttime crime. That's a different culture. It's a different beast that the night cops take on compared to day cops. Very, very different issues. During the day, you have grandmothers calling in about the neighbor's dog running through their garden. You don't have that at night. The calls are different. And yeah, well, you got issues like with me, night cops wanting to check out suspicious cars. I am a suspicious car. Will they do anything? It's hard to say. If they do, I don't know. I guess it'll be another video for YouTube. It's 2 a.m. somewhere. Yeah, and moths. Moths are becoming an issue. I don't know how the moths are doing so good. They must be doing good in the Midwest if I'm constantly getting a moth in my car every evening. I haven't had mosquito problems. Moths are a problem, and I see birds catching moths all over the place. These aggressive birds chasing down moths and making meals out of them. Yet the moths still seem to thrive. Maybe the moths are kind of smart and think that my car is a good hiding spot to get away from them aggressive birds. Which birds I can't even identify. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm mostly out of the grackle territory. So yeah, more cop videos. Just by parking somewhere different. It's another cop video. This is another potential cop video. Just parking here, hanging out. It's another potential cop video. This is how I make my money. I just park in spots that I feel like I just want to hang out in, listen to the area, usually listen to the area around, relax, and somebody has to check me out. Let's see, we have a brood of army of cutworms. Cutworms, I don't know, I'm not too familiar with those. I know that it's amazing how the U.S. is one big landmass, but there's such diversity when you move from one area to the next that you find certain animals or insects in one area that you don't in others. You think we should be able to fluidly move across the whole country, and there would be the same type of animal in across the whole U.S. into Mexico, into Canada, but there's such a diversity. Grackles don't really push too far north. I'm really getting out of grackle area. I've seen a couple here and there, but I'm not seeing them like I have in droves carpeting Walmart parking lots at night in Texas. And I think they stick around during the summertime, and I don't know how they do it. How does a grackle survive a 100-degree day in Texas? I don't understand. It's something I'd like to learn more about. I think grackles are more of a dry weather, like dry, hot desert, low grass. I don't think grackles do too well in high grass areas. The grackles chase blue jays. I do not believe that. I'd be very interested in where you're at. Grackles chase nothing. Grackles could get chased by sparrows. They're a very timid bird. Maybe you're talking about because I think there might be two types of grackles: the great-tailed southwest grackle, or maybe there's a northern grackle. And the northern grackle, if that is a grackle, the blackbird, I call it the blackbird, is an extremely aggressive bird. So boat or grackles, maybe that's the great-tailed grackle. Those great-tailed grackles of the Southwest are not aggressive at all. They get chased away by starlings. They get chased away by smaller birds. And because the further north, there's a greater diversity of birds, so they're chasing grackles all over the place. I just saw a yellow last time I ate okay, yeah. There's enough grackles to go around for meals. Once all the meat plants close down and there's a scarcity of meat out there, you can always turn to the grackle. They have big bodies that you just need a few of them for a nice meal. Yeah, all right. Colorado grackles. What about those hummingbirds? Those hummingbirds are crazy in Colorado. They sound like crickets flying through the air. Those hummingbirds are crazy. I was in Victor, Colorado, and some guy was like, he had a hummingbird feeder, and they were chasing each other. These cricket-sounding hummingbirds were chasing each other. I think trying to kill each other just to have control over this bird feeder. I've never seen these type of hummingbirds in Wisconsin. The ones that sound like crickets. And then there's birds. Birds are the only animal that thrive in this fenced off country, because all the big animals can't get through all that barbed wire fence. It's just layer after layer. In fact, I was at a city They had some buffalo caged in. What city was that? There's Kansas somewhere. Hayes, probably Hayes again. They actually have buffalo on display near the university on the north. Yeah, it was in Hayes, the north side, buffalo. But that's it. That's the only chance you get to see buffalo is caged in. And I could get up close to them. Guy tried to sell you a grackle. Grackles would make a great songbird if they weren't so crazy, if they weren't so wild. If you could tame them and get them to sing like a songbird, they would make a great songbird. Where can you buy a daily roamer hat? Oh, I haven't really looked into merchandising so much. That'd be a great way to make some money. It's like I wouldn't. I'd probably wear a baseball cap, something like Daily Roamer. I've been playing around with designing a logo, um, that I like. I don't really have any examples. There's just something I've been trying to get on various things. It's just playing with art, whatever. Um, so now it's late at night, and I was just gonna. You'll take 3 hats, okay? I have a video of an army of grackles on this big tree. All right, you're in Texas. Um, yeah, grackles are just great to listen to. If you could just record an hour's worth of grackles. I probably need some time to get away because they're pretty fresh in my memories. Um, but I want to go back to, I want to like to listen to grackles again, just their all their craziness. I recorded them as much as I could. I got some specific videos that I know that I can turn back to remind myself of what grackles sound like and how crazy they can get in Walmart parking lots, Target parking lots, grocery store parking lots in general. I also have the Idaho quail recorded too, because I like listening to the quail around that area. It's like in Idaho, the quail are at their noisiest around Boise. I haven't never heard of quail as boisterous as they are in Boise. And they were a pleasure to listen to. Grackle and quail are two of my most favorite types of birds to just listen to. A hat and a sticker, all right. Um, oh yeah, get all kinds of girls. Um, oh, but oh yeah, it's not easy dealing with the controversy. Living in the car, it's like I have to study ahead of time. You got to look ahead where you want to go. Just move over to the next city and try to sleep in your car. See what it's like. See what it feels like. And don't just choose one city. You got a radius around where you live. You just choose several cities. One in the north, one in the south, one in the east, one in the west. In the general area, a good distance, maybe an hour away. Just try to find a spot to sleep in your car overnight and see how comfortable that is. You give a test run, but then you gotta return back to your house, which maybe it's not that big of a deal if you're just doing a test run. When I was in Rice Lake, I'd enjoy going over to Eau Claire and exploring around. What partly motivates me for my travels is looking for edible herbs. I picked some catnip yesterday or 2 days ago and made a tea out of it today. Okay, I picked it yesterday, made a tea out of it today with my coffee. Fresh catnip, I boiled in the teapot and then put it in my French press with the coffee and the star anise and a couple other things. I like to put some green tea, gunpowder green tea. Yeah, the Bible. Dem I think has a tendency to talk about religious stuff, don't you? The one thing, when I took sociology classes, uh, religion was looked at in a different way. It was we didn't study the Bible. We looked at the religious people and how they acted as groups. And it's interesting to find there's a person coming. It might be a cop. Um, Just a slow moving vehicle. Usually when they're slow moving, it's gonna be a cop. They're taking their time. Yep, it is a cop. He might have seen me. He definitely seen me from behind. Yeah, duck. Right. Um, when they're slow moving, they're looking for stuff, and that was a slow moving vehicle. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep with this on live, and just wait for that perfect moment when they show up. I can never turn the camera on soon enough. Never. It's always a little moments. There's always moments that are missed before the camera comes on. What was going on at the time. Yeah, put shoes on. I can't sleep with my shoes on though. That's the thing. It's so hard. It's a hassle with these types of shoes. I need like slippers or something, just so I can get them on quick and step outside. I really like standing up and just having the conversation, as opposed to sitting in here and you just they stand back. It's hard to see them, and I can angle the camera pretty easily to capture them. That's the advantage of a camera too. When you're recording, when you're able to use your camera, especially the phone, even if you can't see them, you're looking down at the steering wheel, talking, responding to them. You got the camera pointed right at their face, and you could later see what their reaction is. I don't need to look at their face. It's not that important, but I still prefer to stand up because my blood's going. I got this extra energy now from the adrenaline, so I want to be able to burn that off a little bit better as opposed to sitting. Do you as the great lover? That looks like a song by Forrest. Forrest wrote a poetic lyrics for possibly a song. Um, yeah, it's interesting. Cops get a little lazy. They develop certain expectations from the locals who just have different habits. I don't know what's the culture like around here. So far, what I gather from Kansas is that small town communities want to keep them small town. In fact, in this town I'm in, there's no franchises. There's really no major businesses that you'd find anywhere else. These are more small mom and pop stores. So that's a small town activity right there. That's a clue that they're trying to preserve maybe this historic culture. um Keep outsiders out, keep the outside franchises out, the outside businesses, outside strangers, anything that's going to corrupt the good nature of their culture. um that's city leadership at work too. They're going to strongly support the cops. um what with this park, they don't have any warning about no overnight parking. Even that, well, a lot of libraries will even say no parking between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. They don't have that here, but that probably means that they just expect the cops to do the verbal enforcement over posting all those unsightly signs. They don't want the um, residents to have to see and be offended by it. Like, oh, I can't believe you have a sign like that he says we can't be here at late at night and stuff. That's so offensive. Maybe there's like this culture of dignity or something. They look at dignity in a different way. A favorite musician or band? I really don't listen to music. I took my car stereo out. I just every so often I'll um download a YouTube from the YouTube audio library or something to consider putting on a video. But I don't really put music on my videos so much. I don't bother with that. That's kind of a it's kind of a hassle. Particular music, I don't know. People who does people really spend money on music? Um, how they side with recent police misconduct. Oh man, you don't ask cops politically charged questions. There's just no, you're not going to get an answer. I'm more interested in the local crime, which they're even the cops are shady about answering questions about even the local crime. They'll inflate it. They'll say, well, had several break-ins at the library, so we have to check you out. You know, they're gonna lie about simple little things in the immediate of immediate threats, and you can't expect them to tell the truth about national politically charged issues too. You don't ask cops that. Don't bother. Don't waste your time. Yeah, sunflower. I can't make. Let me take a look at that. All right, I'm gonna look back at Dizzy Sill. Report, remove user and timeout, hide user on this channel. Yeah, those are the only choices. I can't unwrench them. So I don't know why that is. Um, it's just it's on the phone. So I guess I gave the titles while I was on my laptop, and I don't recall when I was on my laptop doing a like a live stream. I don't even think I was on. No, I must have been on the laptop. I must have been. I was actually separately on the laptop. I think watching my own feed on my phone. I got on the laptop to check something out, and then I think maybe I discovered in the chat I could assign um the wrenches. Time for bed. Okay, yeah. Everybody who's tired, I'm here to help you get even sleepier because I really don't have much else to talk about. This this issue with the protests, those are drawing a lot of attention. And if they're not busing people from other cities into Minneapolis, or are they? Are they busing people? If people are gonna protest in separate states, um, that could lead to more of a, well, it's a national. It'll lead to a national debate, whatever. But what about actually busing people to Minneapolis to show support in that city rather than just have protests in separate states? Because it's a localized issue. I mean, this is Minneapolis. They got their culture. No, I'll never reconcile with my mom. Nope, that's not gonna happen. Local issues are best solved in the local areas. You can't solve problems in you can't solve problems in Minnesota by protesting in California. You have to like go there and cause disruption in the local culture. You have to influence that local area. And Minnesota is really a contentious city. I had a classmate. He died of a gunshot wound. Ryan Heft. He was just a year older than me. He was a cop in the Twin Cities, and he died of a gunshot wound within a couple of years of being a cop on the streets over in the Twin Cities somewhere. Died in 1997 or so. It's just amazing. And then we had was Philip Castile in the Twin Cities? I think he was around there in Minnesota, and that or whatever. And then the Australian lady who got shot by the Sudanese or the Somalian cop. Somalian cop shot the Australian lady for banging on the car. Twin Cities is surprising. They're pretty bad for I don't know, just issues. They got Twin Cities has issues. Big cities are such. Does mother know about your channel? I don't think. My mom's too old to know about this stuff. She doesn't pay attention. Every so often she'll maybe give me a message on Facebook, but I'll ignore it. It's not too often. It doesn't matter anymore. We're all too old. It doesn't matter. It's a family I came from. Those aren't long families you come from aren't very long lasting. They end a lot sooner than the families you create, which I created none, so it's like my 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 social circle is it came it's my the social circle I came from is done. It's cut off, and I haven't created my own, so it's kind of that's it. All right, Jack. Nice visiting with you. Free kill. Yeah, Bill Cosby. He was in he's still in jail. Yeah, it's like it's just so frustrating to hear cops versions of crime, and every time I hear cops talk about what crimes were committed, I feel like I should cut that in half. I feel like I should cut the intensity, the like how much crime the person actually did in half, from a cop's version of that, because they always say it's a lot worse than it really was. Um, oh, they like Bonnie and Clyde killed like not killed Bonnie and Clyde killed 13 people. 9 of them were cops. So everybody should be scared of Bonnie and Clyde, right? I don't know. It's like they killed way more cops than they did regular folk. I don't know if Bonnie and Clyde were just a murderous couple on a rampage, killing anybody they come across who caught them at the wrong time, gave them the wrong look. It seems more like they had something against authority, and authority was creating the narrative about Bonnie and Clyde's history. And it's really something you got to take in measured doses. What the cops version, like I hear how bad I am. I think from cops, especially listening to prosecutors, how bad I am questioning things. So my videos promote um, my videos promote whatever that word the deviance in some way. Um, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. He helped young girls start their own business. Yeah, it's an interesting approach to helping people out. I mean, there's all kinds of Instagram models getting helped out a lot. There's a lot of people. Instagram has really created a nice portal for people to get help, and YouTube too. Um, yeah, it's there's a lot of help um, coming and going through the electronic channels here. Um, but yeah, it just I question like how much is this when is this going to reach a bubble? All this helping of each other, helping out over the internet. It seems like such a distraction. Money in a way is kind of manufactured. It might be inflated a little too much. I always look back at like where are our resources at? I question where our actual resources are that can support life, like animals and plants and stuff. Where are we at with that? The prices are going up on regular food. You can't, and um is this just making more money, begging for more money, or giving more money, uh trading more money? Is that I don't think that's going to really help. You want to maybe find ways to balance food production with human activity in some way. Um, I I don't know. I look. Oh, that's not a cop. Okay, he's moving kind of slow. I look to the forest for. Oh, I'm gonna turn this off quick. I turned in here. Doesn't look like a cop car. I'm looking for edible foods and stuff in the forest. I've spent a lot of time doing that. That's how I was able to identify that catnip yesterday. Make a tea out of that. Catnip is safe for babies. Um, Star anise is safe for babies, but that grows in the southeast. Yeah, if I audit a police station, it'll definitely be the Rice Lake, Wisconsin police station. But I don't know. I might just drive around Rice Lake. I might just drive around Barron County if I ever make it to Wisconsin. Just go north and south. Just make a big circle around that area. Just avoid it entirely. In my hometown, I'll just avoid it. Cause I know I recorded Rice Lake anyway. That's in my early videos. Record Rice Lake. No, I recorded it though. It's the thing. I recorded all that's of interest and then left. So if I wanted to look at Rice Lake, I could just look at my old videos or even new videos, I guess, of the area. See if anything changed. You know, somebody will drive through the area to show us all the snow that fell in the springtime. And then you see all the new businesses that were built. Get an idea. Yeah, that person, I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Oh. Is this still on? Oh my God. All right. So what's going on over there? I can't zoom in. Oh, I could do this. I'm going to turn it around. Wait a second. Okay. Turn it around. Okay. Now it's facing out. Okay. And then I can zoom in and out. Okay, what's going on? Okay, he's back in his vehicle. I can't make out what I'm looking at. I'll cut it out. So you got to hit that twice. Okay. There we go. Okay. That's what I'm looking at. My neighbor. Welcome to the neighborhood, neighbor. So some vehicle pulls in. And it's a benefit for me to have a neighbor move in like that, because then that gives cops a distraction from me a little bit. So I'm going to turn this back around. And that's it. Oh, it's probably going to make a lot of noise. Save, highlight. Let's just. Okay. So the camera's over there. All right. I don't know. I'm just messing around here. I'm surprised that I got Wi-Fi connection. It's pretty good, and I can roll up the windows because it's not too hot. I got my windows up all the way pretty much, so, and I'm not sweating, so it's pretty decent weather. But I still got to keep moving because it's gonna warm up even more over time. So I got to keep moving. One more tomorrow. I'm gonna take off tomorrow. Yeah, what are they doing? I don't know. Just sitting in their vehicle, I guess. I think I'm gonna go for a little walk around the area, get familiar with it. Haven't run the drone in a while. Just not really finding the inspiration for flying a drone. There's interesting things, sort of, but nothing exciting enough for me to fly a drone. So that's been just kind of preserving in the car, just sitting in the car. And I see new drones coming out to show up the drone I have, the Mavic Pro 2. The Mavic Air 2 looks interesting, a little smaller, fits in the backpack a little easier. It almost does the same thing. Yeah, Wisconsin's like 2 years from now. I'm going north into North Dakota, and then maybe go across following the border east a little bit, and then hopefully that'll last a long time. And then I'll start heading south again for the winter time into, I think, the east side of Dallas down there, and maybe into Louisiana or something. And then I'll come back up north, maybe into like towards Minnesota or something. Um, just a back up and down type of zigzag as the seasons change. But I mean, I've been driving so much. I gotta get a new oil change. I've been covering so many miles. So uh, cities are far further, or cities of value for me are further apart. It's not like on the California coast where cities are only like good libraries, interesting libraries are only like 10 minutes apart a lot of times. Um, so I would just make short bounces from one highly populated city to the next. Yeah, Michigan maybe 3 years away. That's a long, long ways away. I'm just trying to survive. I'm not on a big tour. It's just I'm just trying to move with the weather as best I can and conserve. I'm not zigzagging all over like some crazy travelers. There's some people who money's like unlimited, and I have to conserve. I have to consider conserving in all aspects. I, s- I, s- I got to repair my bicycle. I got a broken tooth, and there's no bicycle shops open as far as I understand. There's so I really gotta sit back. I gotta hold back on spending because I don't have a lot of money, but also because a lot of stores aren't even open that I can buy essential uh, equipment to make repairs and stuff. So yeah, what's a person to do? I was thinking about turning this GoPro on. Um, what was that guy doing? I was thinking about turning this GoPro on, um, and doing a live feed through the GoPro, but that'd require two electronic devices. Yeah, toll roads are something else. There was about 3 toll roads I had to drive around in Kansas. Not seeing any in Nebraska. They're probably on the east side of Nebraska, but Kansas, Oklahoma and Kansas. I had at least two Oklahoma and Kansas, Oklahoma City, and then I don't know, somewhere in the west of Kansas. Probably, yeah, Wichita. Heading to Wichita, there was some kind of toll road south of it. And I had to drive around. It was quite a distance I had to get around that. And I questioned whether I needed to even drive around it. I think it was just a lane on the road that was the toll. But I just avoided the whole thing because my Garmin told me this is the alternative route, and I'm like, okay, let's take it. I don't think the toll road was like several lanes. I think it was just one lane on maybe a three or four lane road, but I didn't investigate it any closer. It was just like there was a turnoff that said, "This is your last chance to get off before you hit the toll road." And I'm like, "All right, I'll do it. I'll get off." But I was very interested in investigating that closer. So there's a weird toll road that takes you by surprise south of Wichita, Kansas. I don't know much about that one. So yeah, I am an herbal hunter now. Oh, we pay road tax and the gas. Yeah. Oh, the road tax. Yeah, that's a cost. Oh, it's Jackie, good citizen. Yeah, I've been on this live stream for an hour and a half, just sitting here and talking in my car about toll roads. Uh, yeah, this area is nice and green, and I've been finding more herbs to boil for nutrition. The perfect vitamin makeup is 2 parts dandelion leaf, 2 parts alfalfa. Yeah, I don't go live a lot. It's an opportunity that's not presented, it doesn't present itself too often. I can't go live in libraries. let's see. Why do I got an arrow there? There's Asian girls. Yes, I definitely admire Asian girls. They're smart people. And I just, yeah, speaking of that in a general sense, but it's a little overwhelming in San Francisco. The Asian communities there speak only Asian, not English. I listened to a young girl cry in Chinese. That was weird. Just crying and talking Chinese. That can get a little what was that noise? Maybe that guy's getting ready to take off. The Asian communities can get a little strong. Um, but that's you can say that for any community. It's just the influences, the stores, the businesses that develop when their culture gets strong. They start bringing in businesses that support that culture, and they have very unique products for sale when that happens. The police the police department in Minneapolis is on fire. A precinct. They probably have several businesses. Uh, Connecticut not till June 20th. Oh my God. Yeah, this the state Nebraska is completely closed. Yeah, I should probably be watching the news. All they have is this silly camera. There's live watches, and of course, there live watches. People want to make them interesting. So yeah, set something on fire. Homeless people set homeless shelters on fire. Um, people protesters set the businesses on fire, rioting and all that. It's not even that hot out. I mean, it's hot, but this isn't July. This isn't August. Tempers will get much shorter in July and August. So this is only the start. 35 minutes, burning good. Okay, that's interesting. So people are, yeah, setting fire to things. Um, your dad killed somebody. Well, that's too bad. Um, yeah. So there's live streams for watching things burn. I don't know. That doesn't people setting things, people gathering together and shouting at the cops and then attacking the police station. That's uh that's wild. I don't think very effective. Uh, in it. It's a little early to tell. Um, what else? So that means the fire department needs to show up, and they really are the people gonna harass the fire department too? That's a curious one. Is it Kate? Okay, Boswell Casey Anthony sounds familiar. The Florida woman who killed her child. Um. So yeah, this is watch the news in Minneapolis. That's just, yeah, the updates, the news. It's only about it's I don't even know. It's Wednesday night or something, Thursday night. Um. Yeah, the topics are pretty loose right now. I was complaining about the inequalities of this COVID, of the COVID rules and all that. So now I've puttered out and made a loss. Let's see, we got random bastard. All right, watch out for protests. Yeah, which who do you who, are there? You can't trust all protesters. That's for sure. In the big cities, I wouldn't I just couldn't go into the big city. You're gonna have a hard time finding parking, and then you're gonna have all the crowds of people, and things get so wild and crazy in big crowds and big cities. People want to stand out. They'll dye their hair. They'll wear weird clothing. They'll get face tattoos. They're just people do so many crazy things to stand out in big cities. The 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 just the wide variety of people there is just a little too much. In small compared to small towns, Stacy. Okay, thank you. It's fun. Um, what? Yeah. Who? Yeah, the people. The people who focus on race are just annoying to me. I feel like tuning out on people who talk about race as a primary issue because black people call the cops on me. I had a black lady call the cops, claim I'm stalking her. I have a black Walmart manager call the cops because he just didn't like me in the parking lot. Had a black librarian call the cops on me because I smelled bad. It's just like it's really hard for me to be like other people who are um I don't know, just people who are just like blindly um fighting for black people's rights or something, blindly doing that when they're, not every black person is a good person. But yeah, I it was in Meridian, Idaho, and there's a computer library downtown Meridian. I looked it up a couple of months ago, and it doesn't seem to exist anymore. This weird library that doesn't have any books. It had Wi-Fi and it had computers, but no books. It had like the 3D printers. You could schedule an appointment to 3D print something, and it no longer exists. There's some black guy, some young black guy. Are there Mormon blacks? You don't really hear about that too much. So he had to move on. I don't know what kind of work he'd be doing now. Maybe he works at a regular library. But I had to sit kind of close to him. Small room, not okay. Um, so I got kicked out, and then I suspect in Las Vegas, some other black person probably complained about me stinking in a big library. I mean, I swear, I think it was some. Oh, and then I had that black. I believe there's two incidences where I believe there were black people who called the cops on me, who called to have me kicked out of the library. Uh, in in uh in New Mexico, where I had the cops called on me at the Walmart for stealing water. I believe it was that black cashier lady who called the cops on me because I didn't say hi to her or something. Um, 4 incidents for me that I had where black people getting me kicked out of libraries or calling the cops on me. 4 or 5. It's just really I can't blindly follow because it's more, there's a lot more diversity within the skin color anyway. There's diversity within a single skin color. If you take time to study, if anybody takes time to study Chinese face reading, you'll find that there's more diversity within just a color. So you get a variety there. You don't just look at the color, you look at also other features. Does this person look sickly? Are they fat? That's gonna make an impression on their personalities too. So, but I mean, this was sad what happened in the Twin Cities, just to watch that. Oakland, Baltimore, Detroit. Those are pretty far apart cities. Because this black guy who got killed, he was 46. He's only 2 years older than me. That hits close to home. He died within a matter of 8 minutes with a cop who was 44 years old as me, with his knee on his neck. I just like, I'm like, you know, at my age, I could die like that. I mean, our bodies are getting older, stiffer, less flexible. You have somebody simply put a knee on your neck can kill you. That wouldn't kill a 20-year-old, but it could kill somebody twice that age. So it really hits close to home. Somebody my age, the cop is my age. You know, we may have graduated the same year, and he held his knee on that black guy's neck and killed him just like that. I don't think I could do that. We're talking about Generation X. This is like two guys in of the Generation X era have this controversy. One kills the other. Two Gen Xers, not baby boomers, not younger people. Middle age. The Karen generation, I think. Um, yeah, it was really strange. He had the dead eyes, that cop. There's really a mindset that he was in. Like, he just wanted to end. He didn't want to deal with any more drama at that time. He had it. It's like something else was controlling that cop. His mind, there was something else outside of that cop's um as outside of his control. Uh, could he have been under the influence of anything? Could that cop have been under the influence of any kind of a drug? You gotta ask that. He should have gotten tested for any kind of chemical influence, because that's interesting with that father who killed his wife and children. Listening to his commentary when he was in jail, when he was in prison, talk about something controlled him outside of his own mind. He just couldn't stop. You Wow, Jackie, you worked at prison. All right, prison guard. Wow, yeah, that's a tough job. You got to really take control of the environment there. Yeah, could he? How much pressure? It didn't seem like the cop was putting a lot of pressure on that guy's neck, just enough to cut off circulation in some ways. Yeah, yeah, Chris Watts. That's the guy. I think he was under the influence of the drugs that his wife was giving him, like things pseudoephedrine, things that are short of meth. That company is like a legal meth dealer. And you gotta wonder, maybe this cop was under the influence of some kind of stimulant. Definitely not a downer. He looked very alert. He had dead eyes, but he was very alert. Jeez, that's a long time to be employed as a prison guard. Wow, that's tough. But and working with women too, women can be pretty catty. Um, oh, John Benet Ramsey, that's an old case. People still question that too. That you talking about the little girl who was a pageant. Her parents entered her into pageants all the time. Um, yeah, so maybe I'd have to watch the video again. I mean, there was more than one person with a camera. I only got to see the one camera. There was a lady with a camera. Maybe there were people across the street, security cameras or something. The cop's own camera, if that helps in any way. This can develop with other angles to serve a more thorough story. Need to get a 360 video in there, um, to take it all in. So it's a slow one of them slow deaths. So at least it was only one death, but it was a cop. It's by a cop. You're supposed to be held. You're supposed to be able to like be treated in a civil manner by a cop. You're supposed to be able to expect to survive an interaction with a cop as long as you're being civil. And if we see cases like this black guy getting killed slowly by this cop, then you have to you get the feeling like civility is being thrown out the window right now. Like, why should I be civil if you're not going to be civil? And try to equalize the whole um equalize this equalize how we treat each other in some ways. If it's like uh trying to be trying to balance out the books between cops and citizens. If cops aren't going to show civility, then civilians are not either. Um, because cops are supposed to be like the line that protects between uncivil behavior and civil behavior, and when you see uncivil behavior in the cops realm, it's really disturbing. He kept killing the guy. Yeah, this cop was really headstrong towards sticking with the immobilization of that black guy. He didn't want that black guy moving an inch. And it's interesting. Um, and it sounded like they said the black guy was put in the car, but then issues were developing, and so they had to pull him out. And that's something that needs to be explained. There's more of a story, more to the story. Of course, cameras can never come on soon enough. So we're left with the tail end of the interaction. Equalizer in the 80s was pretty good. The Equalizer? That's some kind of 80s show? Okay. Yeah, that's there's a lot of pilots out there that producers experimented with. I prefer shows that don't really have a lot of canned dialogue. But I got into parking wars and shipping wars. I watched Storage Wars many years ago, but Shipping Wars apparently came out like right after Storage Wars, and I think Parking Wars came out during Storage Wars, and I didn't hear about the Parking Wars and Shipping Wars until a few weeks ago, and I started watching them, and I've really been getting into them. Very interesting. It seems like it's kind of canned dialogue with that, but there's a lot of real moments too. Shipping Wars, yeah, Shipping Wars is on YouTube. You can download all the episodes, I guess. I got so many I still have yet to watch, and I just keep watching them and watching new ones. And there's always another one I haven't seen yet. So that seems like realism, but there's a lot of canned dialogue with Shipping Wars. I don't mind a little canned dialogue, but when the whole show is just all pre-written, like pre-written story, I don't really get into that, because there's at some point where it just stops sounding genuine, and the more scripted something is, the sooner it stops sounding genuine to me, and the less I become interested in it. It's just like, you can kind of tell early on with scripts, they have a narrative they want to get to, they want to follow, and they have to really twist human psychology natural human reactions to fit their narrative, and then it's just like I'm like, oh, I don't think anybody would act like this in real life, so I just get turned off by it. Casey, oh, I don't know about Casey Anthony. So yeah, let's see. Different people going to storage and buying them. Yeah, Storage Wars. There's highlights of Storage Wars I recently watched. They just, I guess, mostly fights or something. The highlights of Storage Wars. I'm sure that Shipping Wars will have their highlights too. But I mean, every episode's been pretty interesting. Getting into something that I can watch, I can download and on YouTube Premium and then watch offline. I go to the park a few blocks away, watch offline. It helps to get offline every so often and then just work with what I have for for information rather than being all scatterbrained thinking I can do anything while I'm on the internet. Uh, Check out net. Now I haven't really. I don't know about Netflix. Can you? I'm not sure if you can download offline to watch offline for Netflix, but I can for YouTube. So I've been sticking with just what I have for YouTube, $12 a month. I think I'm willing to pay $12 a month for the YouTube Premium. So yeah, okay, Netflix. You can pay more money for Netflix and download stuff. Yeah, see, movies are scripted though, but there are documentaries. I like the documentary stuff. It's been a while since I've watched them though. They just, you gotta pick and choose. Um, um, I get distracted a lot living in my car. There's things going on around me. I got windows all around me all the time. Whenever I'm watching TV in some way, I don't have like a big box room with all closed walls around me and I just focus on the TV. I got distractions. I'm constantly going to different places and there's new distractions all around me. So I every so often I'll just tune it out though. I can kind of tune it out for a little bit and watch a show, watch some videos on YouTube. But yeah, I saw that offer. But I think what I have is fine because I got about 66 videos that I downloaded on YouTube now. That's maybe like 5, 6, 7 hours of YouTube videos I downloaded that I haven't really gotten around to watching yet. So yeah, I don't. There's no cornfields in Kansas. There's no cornfields in Nebraska right now either. A little early for that. You gotta wait. The killer really couldn't get around. Couldn't really hide anywhere around what's being grown right now. Wheat fields. Wheat fields only grow to knee high. So you gotta give it some time. And I don't know if the farmers are even growing corn this year the way things look. I don't see stalks. I definitely don't see grapevines either. Grapevines. That's a nice western type of agricultural um, business to have. You don't there's a lot of plants that you don't see being grown around here that you find on the west coast. The berry plants of Washington, the raspberries and all of that, the hops fields in Oregon, the hops fields around I don't know. I think it's still west of that mountain range, west of the mountain range. So it's still in the nice wet area. The apple orchards of that are west of the mountains in Washington, the Washington apple. I mean, you don't see apple orchards like you do around Washington. Um, there's a lot of interesting. Mo- okay, Bill's got quite an interest in moles here. Um, that's great. There's definitely things that we can all ask questions about. Um, and you can search that in Google. Okay. All right. Good night. I should probably stop this live stream anyway. It's what, 2 hours? I don't even know the time. That's something I need to do is buy a clock for this car, so I could just look on the dashboard and see the time. Because the only time piece I have is this camera phone, and I can't see the time because I got this screen up. So it's a little frustrating. Something to look into. There's I barely use my temperature gauge. I don't even really need that. I'd really what a 12:54 a.m. in Connecticut. Yeah, it might be midnight or so. I'm in mountain time apparently. I entered mountain time going north. In Nebraska, there's like somewhere you change from central time to mountain time. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'd really like to have a compass, but I keep magnets in my car for my health, so I can't do that because they interfere. I think the magnets constantly interfere with my drone because every time I want to launch my drone, I have to recalibrate the internal compass, and I bet it's because my magnets are messing with it all the time. I can't just set the drone down and launch it. I gotta recalibrate the compass every time. So, uh, yeah, it's getting kind of. I had that one visitor, a cop drive by, and oh, nobody's driven on this road for at least 15 minutes. Things go dead quiet late at night, and this internet is still working. I don't think they have curfew. I don't think they shut this internet off in this city or at this library. Camping in a tent. That means I'd have to take my tent out. I use my tent as my backrest right now. The poles are on the very back. The main tent cloth is just something I lay on. It's lean against. Magnet fishing. Uh, yeah, people magnet fish in the water for dropped metal. There's all kinds of things people drop in the water, and people make YouTube videos about what they find with their metal detectors. I don't have enough room for a metal detector. It's there's a lot of things I could get into that take money and space. I gotta be reasonable about a lot of activities, and I'm one to lean towards just not doing something, not just holding back, not spending that money. Um, well, no, my magnets fall apart kind of easily. I think they're zinc coated, and the neodymium rusts really fast. Neodymium corrodes really fast. So as soon as you get a crack on the zinc coating, that's it. They have a short lifespan. And then you lose the magnetization as they rust, and that's it. They go. I wore magnet necklaces that were really nice. They changed the way my brain felt at the time, but they just the sweating, the water. Then they were gold coated. They sell gold coated neodymium magnets, and that corrodes, and then it rusts, and then you lose the magnetization. It's a mess. So yeah, I think yeah. Can I stop this lifestyle? I don't make enough money to do anything to really to get any. I don't have the skills to do anything else. I'm not. I haven't been trained in anything. Uh, I mean, there's jobs I could go to. I tend to get fired from jobs. It's like if I'm not getting harassed by cops by living this lifestyle, I'd be looking for jobs that I'd be getting fired from anyway. I get fired from jobs all the time before YouTube. So and I hate that feeling of getting fired. So I just don't apply for jobs, and then I don't have that feeling, that problem of getting fired. So it feels good. I'll accept less to avoid the problems with getting fired. So I hate building up my expectations, thinking, oh, I'm gonna get this money, and I work so many hours and I can save up this much, and then I get fired, and then all that crashes. I just keep my expectations low, live a simpler lifestyle, not get into the rat race of having to please masters, please supervisors, just avoid it all. All I have to do is lower my expectations. I don't have to clean myself so much. I don't have to keep things orderly and tidy. My main priority is eating healthy with catfish, drinking coffee every day. That's it. Breakfast? I don't know. I got some milk, probably more coffee. I'd like to walk around this city on the outskirts and see if I can find anything of value. Maybe some dandelion leaves, um, uh, whatever I can find for something fresh that's green that I can cook sort of and enjoy. I really like the catnip. If I find more catnip, I don't want to have catnip like every day. So, yeah, are my parents still alive? Ask them. I don't know. I don't talk to them. I don't know if my dad's alive. I don't know if my mom's alive. I don't know if my grandma's alive. I had one when I left Wisconsin. I left, and I think the grandma was at 88. That was 8 years ago. I think she's probably dead, but I don't know. I don't talk to them. Nobody tells me anything, so they don't tell me. I don't ask. Even with my sisters, I don't ask. They don't tell me. So we get along that way. Catnip's good for a tea. Catnip is safe for babies. Star anise is safe for babies, and they both make great teas. They mix well with the coffee. So I enjoy star anise a lot, and I'm running out. And it doesn't matter how many small towns I visit in Kansas or Nebraska. I don't think I'll come across star anise in any of these small towns. Oh, there's I lost connection there and instantly came back. Wow. So that means, oh no. Yeah, the small towns are really lacking. But I mean, I just have to learn more about what's in the wild that I can take. And there's a few plants that I can identify and use. Um, some barks, some leaves, some roots. I can identify a limited amount, and I know there's more out there that I should be able to identify. Uh, Star anise smells so good. Smell that with coffee. You got excellent smells. Yes, the smell is much more appealing than the taste. You get more out of the smell than the taste, I think. How did you like Omaha? I was never in Omaha. Oh, I might go in through Omaha on my way south, but I'm gonna go straight up to North Dakota. But I gotta get around them Indian reservations. Makes me a little nervous. I wonder how far I have to drive to get around them. It's not clear where they are exactly. I just kind of look on Google Maps and I see names, such and such Indian tribe reservation. There's like 4 or 5 of them back to back, and it encompasses a lot of the west part of South Dakota, and I think even going up into North Dakota. I think it's the west side of South Dakota is Indian activity. I'm gonna need to drive around that, drive more of easterly direction to get around all of that. So I'm sure they don't have Walmarts. I keep getting chided uh, for making a video about sleeping in a like a Navajo Nation reservation. There was a city. It was somewhere in Arizona. Uh, you live by casinos, Gandhi. Uh, yeah, Indians are pretty laid back and all. It's sacred, or no, it's not sacred land. Indians would take the Yellowstone if they could have. It's just like they were put on those reservations, the last bits of land that anybody would take. No, Indians are put the reservations are put on no man's lands because I mean there's a lot better territory to take for them than that. They could have taken the Yellowstone if they wanted to, but obviously they they uh they did not have that as an option. Anything with anything with attraction to it. And even when gold was discovered in some parts of Indian reservations, instantly the Indians lost that because ultimately Indian reservations are not exclusively Indian controlled. They are still a part of the federal government. All right, Adina, thanks for stopping. A few bad experiences. Yes, I did. And I'm sure they are not the only race that called cops on you. Nope, nope, they're not. But that seems like a high percentage. I don't think I've ever had an Asian call the cops on me. Plenty of white people have. And a wide range of white people. Yeah, there's all kinds. There's a variety, but it still surprises me as laid back as I expect blacks usually are. It's just I've had these interactions and it's weird. It is unpredictable. There's a lot of unpredictable activity. You think about Lori Barlow and Chad Daybell. They knew about the loophole in the Constitution. Uh, um, all right. I'd have to like type in their names and search that. Oh, looks like I lost connection. Oh no, it came back. Wow, this just keeps going. This is a great connection. What the weird thing is, so I don't think lots of Karens out there. Yes, I think Karens are a Generation X phenomenon. People picking on these Karens in that age range. Um, but yeah, I'd like to upload videos through this connection. It's not cutting out, but how fast is it? I may have good connection that just doesn't cut out up there, and they'll never find. Okay, so husband and wife kill their kids. Yeah, that's tough. Why have kids? There's some people who have difficulty with that kind of stress. Drugs have a lot to do with that the problem. I mean, just simply being addicted to sugar concentrates are enough to cause sugar extracts are enough to cause a detachment from reality because they get the sugar rushes. Adults can get sugar rushes. Okay. All right. Thanks, Adina. Let's see. Your connection seemed to be good. Yeah, yeah. This is surprisingly good. I usually just kind of go until I get kicked off, but this just keeps going and going. What's the deal with this connection? It's too good. I expected failure early on, and it just keeps going. What's the deal? I actually have to press the stop button myself. I expected the electronics to cut out for me. It's amazing. Some places can surprise you. So it's getting late into the night. It is a little warm in here. And yeah, it's 80. Yeah, 80. The big battery's at 89% from 100% this whole time. But usually, it shows a good reading in the progress. But You wait maybe 20 minutes and check it again, and then suddenly it's down 20% or something because it wasn't accurately keeping track of the battery loss. They were a cult. The Normans are their brain, and Chad Daybell is a cult leader. Oh gosh, I don't know. Is there anything ongoing? Is there anything ongoing with them, or is this an open and closed case? Because it's like if there's nothing where there's not going to be any new developments, then I don't know. It's like nothing to look forward to. It's all history. Are you talking about a historical incident? They're interesting. I mean, we could talk about Custer's last stand. I mean, there's so many things in history that are open and closed cases, mysteries out there. I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff to read about, of course. Um, yeah, yeah, you can't trim. I usually cut with my own scissors anyway. It's uh, it's just hair, whatever. I'm not really. I gotta look shaggy. I think that it helps with cop interactions. I get a nice clean shaved cop giving me a hard time that they're gonna come at me a little stronger. If I was clean shaved too, maybe they wouldn't be. Maybe they would not be as good for YouTube. Free apps that know where when you stop somewhere. Opal. Oh, speed tests, speed traps. Yeah, I can see speed traps on the GPS. I mean, my GPS warns me ahead of time a little bit. Yeah, the bus stop barber. That's okay. Let's see. We got not a troll. Do you have YouTube Premium? Why don't you get that? That helps the channel a little bit. Um, I don't know what. I guess I could probably put a stop to this here. I want to get out and walk around, but sitting here for 2 hours now, that's a long time. I have to hit the X. Are you going to watch SpaceX launch on Saturday? It sounds like it's some kind of network programming that they're setting up. Is it pay-per-view? I'll probably watch the highlights. I usually end up watching highlights for everything. That's yeah, where is my PayPal? Um So I think I'll end it here. I'm gonna end it here. End it here. I have to hit the X. So here goes my figure. Thanks for visiting.